What if you could only do 4 calisthenics exercises for the rest of your life? My name is Nicholas, I'm the founder of Online Calisthenics, and today I'm going to try and answer that question. First, we need to pick 4 exercises because we need 1 exercise for pulling, 1 exercise for pushing, 1 exercise for the legs, and 1 exercise for core. Let's start with pulling. And for that, I selected the wide pull-ups. The wide pull-ups are the gold standard for upper body pulling strength, and they're really demanding. By using a wider grip than shoulder width, you will put a lot of emphasis on your lats, and that's going to force them to grow strong and broad. So you will get that V-tape shape that makes you look big and strong. This variation demands a lot from your back, shoulders, and arms, and are much harder than regular pull-ups. If you're strong at wide pull-ups, chances are that you will be really good at any other pull-up variation. It's a clear indicator of your upper body pulling power. Now let's dive into how to do them. Grip the bar as wide as your arms allow, forming about a 45-degree angle before you start your pull-up. Engage your lats, depress them as you pull up, and make sure to retract your scapula together to bring your chest towards the bar. Aim for a full range of motion. Try to get that chin over the bar at the top and make sure to control the descent. The negative is the most important part of the pulling motion, so make sure to not just drop and come back up. Make sure to descend and control that. As far as volume, use a descending ladder to build more volume. So start with the max rep you can do currently and then decrease by 1 rep on every set as you go until you reach the bottom of the ladder. Overall, the solid goal is to be able to do 15 to 20 wide pull-ups, and if you're not there yet, you can start with sets of 5 and make your gains from there. You can also use a pyramid if you use low volume, for example going from 1 to 5 and then from 5 to 1. Now let's talk about pushing, and for that I selected the Pike Push-Up, and here's why they work. Overhead pressing is one of the hardest pushing patterns, and that's why a lot of people ignore it. Unlike horizontal pressing, like push-ups or dips, vertical pressing requires a lot more shoulder and tricep strength. And this is why it's often a weak link for many people. I've seen a lot of time that people that can't do those movements usually have tender shoulders and tend to have a lot of limitations in there, and that's a great reason to start training them. If we look back in the past, ancient gladiators relied on overhead pressing to build battle-ready strength, so we should all do it. Pike push-ups will train your shoulders, triceps, and upper chest while improving balance and stability. Here's how to do them. Start in a pike position. It's really like prepping for a handstand, and from there, you will lower your head in front of your hands, not just straight under, but in front of it, to create a 90-degree angle with your arms. That's very important to keep your forearms straight as you descend and avoid bringing them back. Then push back up, keeping your legs straight, and you can bend them slightly if you need for mobility purposes. As far as volume, it's likely to stay lower than your classic push-ups, so start with a volume around 3 to 8 reps per set and aim for 3 to 6 sets. Also, you can add an isometric hold at the bottom of the last rep of each set for extra strength gains. Mixing isometric and dynamic reps is a great way to progress in any movement. And again, if you can master pike push-ups, it's going to be very easy to transition to harder variation like the handstand push-ups or the handstand itself. Now let's talk about legs. And for that, I selected the Bulgarian split squats. And here is why they work. This move blends the benefit of squats and lunges all together while challenging balance, mobility, and single leg strength. It's a very different approach than your classic squats because splitting your legs will engage a lot more stabilizing muscles, which will improve overall lower body strength and your coordination. So you get a lot of gains, not just strength, but also balance and coordination at once. By splitting the legs, you also train your hip mobility and flexibility. That back leg, once you come down, is going to be a challenge, and you'll see that extending it is going to be hard, making it an excellent functional movement for any sport, running, and everyday activity. Here's how to do them. You want to place your back foot on an elevated surface like a bench. If it's too high, you start lower. Anything that you can do will work as long as the back foot is slightly elevated. Then you work your way up. And from there, you want to lower yourself until your back knee almost touches the ground. Don't go half reps. Always go full range of motion. Perform 10 to 20 reps per leg and go for 5 to 10 sets total. And last but not least, you can add a weighted vest once your body weight reps becomes too easy. Now let's finish with the core, the most essential body part. And for that, I selected the hanging leg raises. And here's why they work. It's the ultimate core movement because it will build a lot more than just your core. It will focus on your grip, on your hip flexors, on your lower back strength, and all of that while hitting your abs way harder than most exercises. Unlike traditional crunches or sit-ups, the hanging leg raises will force you to control your entire lower body against gravity. Key element here is make sure you don't just use your hip flexors. Stronger abs mean you will get better posture, better spinal health, and improved performance in every other movement. Here's how to do them. First, you want to hang from a pull-up bar that's high enough so that your feet don't have to touch the ground. Anywhere from shoulder grip to wide grip is a good way to start. From there, raise your knees to your chest, keeping control. And by that I mean, don't start with your hip flexors, start with your core muscles. If you're strong enough, you can also perform these reps with straight legs instead of just bending your knees. And from there, perform 10 to 20 reps per set and aim for 5 to 10 sets. Keep each rep as clean as possible, avoid swinging and any momentum so you can max out your gains. Hanging leg raises will train your entire core dynamically and it makes them a must-have for any calisthenics workout. So in a nutshell, these 4 exercises are a complete bodyweight training plan. They'll develop strength, mobility, and endurance without any fancy equipment beyond a pull-up bar and just a surface to elevate your foot. So if you're ready to take your training to the next level, join the online Calisthenics Academy, come train with me, click the link below, and I will see you in the next video.